Hi, this is Made by Mommy, and today I'm going to teach you how to make a waitress uniform charm using your rainbow loom. To make this charm, you'll need a loom set up in the staggered configuration, which means that those of you that don't have a rainbow loom like me, but are using a crazy loom or a wonder loom or a banda loom or a fun loom, you'll be able to follow along too. To make this charm, you'll need 34 rubber bands in the color you want the dress to be. I'm going to use pink, and 20 white rubber bands or whatever color it is you choose for the apron and collar and sleeves. This design, I must say, was inspired to me by a girl named Rachel who sent me an email with this photo. She sent me this photo of what she was calling a sundress design right when I was making my ice cream sundae and my root beer float. And immediately when I saw that adorable pink color, I thought of a waitress uniform. So I wrote to her and asked her permission to alter the design slightly and share it with all of you. So here is my version of Craftastic Girly 15's dress design. To get started, make sure your arrow is pointing like mine is. We're going to build the dress from the top down. Take a single white rubber band in your center row and pull it down to the second peg. Now take 2 white rubber bands at a time from the center peg diagonally to the right, and the center peg again diagonally down to the left. We're going to create the 2 sleeves on the loom itself. We're going to do that by taking 2 pink and bringing them up on the right side, and again doing the same on the left. 2 pink up to the left. And now building the body of the dress, 2 pink rubber bands straight down on the right side, 2 bands on the center, and 2 bands on the left side. And the next row, we're going to be angling in our waistline for the waitress's dress. So from the left, it goes to the center peg. From the center forward, slide those down a bit so that there's room, and then from the center up to the right. And you'll want to slide those down as well. But you'll want to make sure not to overlap these because you're going to need to hook those each individually later. So make sure they're in a nice, neat stack. Now we're going to angle out for the hips of the waitress uniform or the apron, taking 2 white at a time to the right on an angle, to the center straight down, and from the center down to the right. Next row will be 2 white on the left, 2 white again are going to go in the center, and 2 white are going to go on the right side. Now we're going to do a row of pink, 2 at a time. So 2 pink, and in the center, 2 pink again, and on the right, you guessed it, 2 pink. Now this is the bottom line of the dress. We're going to add 2 rubber bands from that bottom left to the center, and from the bottom right to the center as well. And in order to make the skirt flare out on the sides, we're going to add 2 more that we're going to extend down with, but then later we'll rotate them to the side. So that goes from this bottom right peg straight down, and the same on the other side, like that. So the bottom shape of your dress should now look like a letter M. And we're ready to add our cap bands. I'm using Rainbow Loom brand rubber bands, which are pretty stretchy and strong. If you're using jelly colors or glitter colors, or some other brands that are a little bit smaller, you might not be able to wrap it around this peg 3 times. If you can only do 2 times, that's fine. It's going to work also. But if you're using the same rubber bands as me, Rainbow Loom, you'll want to do it 3 to make a neat edge. So 1, 2, 3 times around. And then on this side, the same. 1, 2, 3 times around. And we're going to add 2 more rubber bands like that here and here. I'm going to use white because I think that looks very cute when you have a little bit of white peeking out as if it was a cuff on the sleeve. 1, 2, 3 times around. And on this one, another white one. 1, 2, 3. And now we need to add bands across the body so that the dress won't pull apart if you tug it that way. And I'm going to start at the bottom here. We're going to wrap one around. You see we have the M shape. The next peg up. 1, 2, and 3. And again, for my brand of rubber bands, I can wrap these twice. If you can't wrap them twice because you're using a different brand, then do it once. You'll still get your dress. And then the next 1, 2, 3, we're going to do a white band. And 1 more that's going to go from here to here to here in pink. And that is all the rubber bands you'll need for your waitress uniform. The first rubber bands you'll want to hook are the ones for the sleeves. To do that, we're going to take our hook and reach back with the white bands, hook the pink ones underneath. You may want to put a thumb on the white caps to keep them from popping up while you loop the pink one around the tip, and then bring that back down. And on the other side, repeat. So those are in place now to get connected when we work our way up the entire dress. Starting at the bottom of the dress now, catch the 2 rubber bands that you want to bring forward, and the same on this side. And to complete the bottom edge of the dress, we're going to go in and catch the 2 that go down on the diagonal to the right, and again here, down on the diagonal to the left. Get those both hooked around. And now we're ready to work up the skirt just like we would do a triple single. I'm going to do the center first. In the center, you might want to look from this angle. You want to catch just those 2 rubber bands that are all the way on the bottom. So you put your hook in and push backwards until you have just those 2 that you can bring up the center forward. Then continuing, pulling back the cap band. So you've now done the center row, and now we can do the left side. Into the center and the right side. Following the path of rubber bands, up the side, and then to the middle. Now this next spot is the trickiest for the whole looping. You want to pay close attention to the order you place the rubber bands on. Now, looking at mine, it's the right ones that are on top, followed by the center, and then by the left. And so that's the order you want to take them off. Whichever 2 are stacked the highest. Otherwise, they end up hooking onto each other. So looking in from the side, put your hook in to pull back all those white colored apron bands and catch the 2 pink rubber bands that go on the diagonal to the right. And then back in to catch the 2 rubber bands that go straight in the center. And once more, and these should be pretty straightforward because there's only 2 left down there. And you'll know you got this right when you have those neat 3 V shapes. Complete the center first again. Oh, I only caught 1. Get 2. There they are. And then I can do the left side. Reaching underneath all of those sleeve bands to get just those 2 white ones to the center. And on the right side. To the center. And now the only remaining rubber band is the loop that will be at the top. To get that, reach all the way in with the back of your hook, catch just that 1 rubber band, pull it up, leave it loose, take out the bottom one, and pull the bottom one through the center of that top loop, and pull tight to create a slip knot that will hold the charm together and that you'll also be able to use to attach your charm wherever you like. And we're ready to take the rubber bands off the loom. I always like to take them from the top and the bottom and always from the sides before I do the middle. that helps keep you from breaking rubber bands, which at this point in the process would be really frustrating. And then I'd get a real angry comment from one of you. Here we go. Pop. And then once you've got this much off, you can take the hook out, use your fingers. And there you have it. When it first comes out of the loom, you might have a couple of rubber bands that are out of place. Just give your waitress uniform a tug and reposition the sleeves a little, and then you'll be much happier with the results. The rubber bands also tend to snap back a little bit over time, so it will look tighter. Well, I hope that you enjoyed making a waitress uniform with me today. If you did, please click like below and also consider subscribing so that you can find out when I post additional charms. The Waitress was the part of a series that currently includes an ice cream sundae charm that's already posted and a root beer float, which are really sort of adorable matches for the Waitress. I also have a lot of other charms posted that may inspire you. There's a ballerina style party dress and a tuxedo. There's a panda face charm. There's a smiley face. I have a ladybug and a pencil and a mustache. Plenty of projects to keep you busy. I hope you'll try another one. And if you also want to know what charms are going to be posted next week, join my mailing list. There's a link in the description below. I send out one email a week in which I tell my subscribers what is going to be posted in the next few days. Thank you again for watching, and happy looming to you.